And good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network on this Thursday morning. And we're stepping away from the athletics and we're getting into fine arts this week. And we're going to talk Student Congress and the fall play, which gets started tonight. More on that a little bit later. But Student Congress had their state competition last weekend, in Bismarck, and we are joined by a couple of members of the Student Congress team. Carter Hass, Ada Gilbertson. How you doing, guys?
Oh, good.
Pretty good.
You doing all right? It was the 7th and 8th of November, if memory serves, is when the state competition happened. So let's see. Let's start with the state champ, Ada Gilbertson, a three-way tie. So at what point did you know, Ada, that you were going to be right up there at the top?
Well, I never know for sure, but I knew that there was only a certain amount of kids who had gotten a certain number of speeches in, so I knew I had a chance of maybe placing.
Mm-hmm.
And as they were saying the names, it got up there, and then they were like, there's a three-way tie, and I was like, okay, that gives me 1/3 of a chance. And I was just crossing my fingers, and when they said my name, I was like, yay.
First time?
Second time.
Second
I
state?
had a state championship last year.
Okay.
So
And that was in House 1?
this year was in House 1, and
Okay.
then last year I was a state champion in House 3.
Okay.
So I moved up a little bit.
What's the difference? Tell me what the difference is, because there's, 6 houses or whatever? I think there is, but what's the difference?
The level of competition goes up per house. So level 6 usually has a lot of our younger kids who are just learning, so it's not quite as competitive, and as you go up, it gets more and more competitive.
Okay.
So there is a huge difference last year from being in House 3 to House 1. It was a little bit of a switch because as you get up, it just gets a little more competitive, and there's a lot more competition, and it gets a little harder as you go.
Okay. What was your speech? What was your presentation?
I went for a more like calm but feisty approach, sort of. So I tried my best. I researched a lot before state, and I wrote a lot before state in preparation, and then I just gave it my all when I went up to speak.
Okay. You don't get to read. You have to have this memorized, correct? Or do you get
You get to read.
You do.
You have an iPad, but they do like you to look up and try not to read down the whole time. Yeah.
Okay. Look up every once in a while. So a three-way tie, but a getting first place. So now does this move you on to anything next or not?
No, that was the end of our Student
Okay.
Congress season.
Okay. And Carter Hass here, was it a third place or second place in Senate?
Third place in Senate because that was also a three-way tie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your presentation?
I kind of mainly focus on a bit more of a national style. I went in with a strategy. I want to play it like Nats. I want to speak like a national kid and have that rhetoric and just that argument structure. And Equality and Forensics, just like I've talked about before, they provide those services for free to kind of coach that. So I've also been utilizing that a little bit here and there for their labs. And it honestly played out pretty well because I went in and the look on Judge Clinton's face, he looked up and gave me a big smile, so I knew he was proud. And our speeches went well. By the time we were mid-round, I had a pretty good feeling what placements were like, but then out of nowhere, someone got in a 6th speech, and in North Dakota, you're more judged off of speeches and ranks. And Jordan Graves from Horace just came out of nowhere. She didn't even know herself that it was her 6th speech, gave it, and that's pretty much an instant champion.
Okay.
And then me, Becca Sather, and Aiden Schultz. Aiden from West Fargo, coached by Abby Inkstead, and then Becca Sather from Grand Forks, kind of a rookie, came in, and we all tied for 3rd. And it was really fun because we were very competitive. And yeah, like extemporaneous speaking, you just can't read off of your thing.
Right.
But no, Becca was pretty good at extemp, so that's why she placed pretty high.
Okay. National qualifier as well, too, right?
Oh, yeah, that's where my success came in. We go into House, and you have a House and a Senate. I was in House because Senate, if you qualify for nationally, that's very, very competitive. So House is a bit more comfortable. And I go in, we break through the first day, and so then you go into your second day, your final round, and I'm competing. I'm hoping I'm doing well. My speeches were pretty good. My questioning was good. You're ranked in the round, not just speeches anymore, so it's a bit different. And I kept playing that national strategy, and I also worked with Ada for some of the points on legislation. That was for also day 2, so it really did help. And got some points from Equality and Forensics, worked with that, and we come out and they're calling for placements. and they get all the way up to first, and I'm like, there's no way, because I didn't think I had a super good day with a little bit of less extent than I normally do. And they called me for first, and it's the first time I championed the house, so that was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
First time is always fun, isn't it? And unexpected, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, all the Cheyenne kids surrounding me, I took a picture and put it on my Instagram of my national plaque with Cheyenne trophies that I got from speech meets around it. Out of love, out of love.
Right,
but,
right, yeah. Sure, yeah. We'll go with that. But now we also had a couple other placers. Cooper Anderson, I think, took 4th, and Faith Nance took 6th. And Cooper's an 8th grader. And Faith is...
She's a freshman.
She's a freshman. So having a couple of... And that's pretty good for an 8th grader and a freshman to do that, isn't
Very
it?
good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Congress, one big thing is debate kids. They've really been taking over the event, and Fargo really has, just because Bismarck schools, they've lost a few coaches. It's been a bit of a struggle. So for them to come in from Valley City, stand up for the West, and, you know, get a good little sweep in there, it's really nice. And, I mean, Grand Forks had their placements, too. They kind of popped out of nowhere and took 5th at state, which is awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is it Quinn Kruger, Matthew Holm, the other two? Or were they...
Quinn Kruger, and then we had Grady Samuelson.
That's Grady Samuelson. That's right. Okay, they were the other two, but a 6-member team,
That
and
was
you still
really
take
good.
7th out of 19.
Seven.
How crazy is that?
It was really crazy. We were sitting on the bus, and our coach was just like, "By the way, you guys got 7th," and all of us looked around like, "What? What do you mean?" There was only 6 of us,
Right.
so it was really cool that even with 6 people, we were able to do so well at a state tournament.
And only 20 points out of 5th. I think is what is the number that I saw that you were really close to getting into that top 5.
It's why we push our kids to write their speeches, because they come in prepared, and this is what they get. It's their victory. And it's pretty attainable. You just really have to write and lock in. But when we were up there, like, it was just kind of nice knowing that we have that placement, that we can still do well, and that, like, we can make them competitive, because me and Ada have been working together to kind of give them, like, here's a different way of doing it than normal Congress training, and it's worked. I mean, it's going well, so.
So far, so good. And
Yeah.
first year coach with Sean, things have been working out too with her, hasn't it? And you guys kind of helped her along a little bit, but how fun has it had to do as well as you have with a first year coach?
She has been wonderful. She stepped in when nobody else would, and I really appreciate that. And she just came in with this idea of being willing to learn whatever
Right.
we were gonna do, and she came in with such a good mindset that it helped us just be so positive about the season, even with a new coach and with such a small team. We just all felt so good going into season, and she just helped us in every single way possible, and she was a great coach, and I'm looking forward to see how she keeps growing this program.
And of course, we have speech now is not too far off for you guys. Is that kind of after the first of the year that you get to go on with that?
Yeah, our first tournament is in January.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but
We are already starting. We have our speech team meeting coming
Yep.
up. It's on.
November 18th at 3:30 to 5
Okay.
in the speech room.
So,
So if anybody wants to join the
Join
speech,
speech.
there you go.
There it is.
The 3:30 to 5, so right after school, November 18th, which I believe is Monday. That's a
Yeah.
Monday, this upcoming Monday. So there you go. If you got someone out there that wants to be on speech, you can join a pretty successful group of student athletes, students with our speech program. Well, now nationals, Carter. When is that going to be? What's coming up with that?
So that'll be in Des Moines, Iowa, somewhere in like the middle of June. And then all the debate national qualifiers, Congress, and speech national qualifiers all go on one bus, and they all go because it's just one big tournament.
Right.
And it's the Big Nat tournament, so it should be I should say for the first time in our district's history, we had 6 people qualify because we had enough people within the chamber.
Right.
So it was very cool because now we'll have a bigger team, and I can prep with more kids and kind of maybe show them a bit about Nats. At least that's what we tried to do on the team this year, give them a good idea, and it paid off because wow,
Yeah.
they did good.
That's pretty good. Now, this is your second time, third time nationals. Okay, so you're an old hat. You're an old pro at
Old
this.
hat, yeah. I should say with Sean, it's been like amazing because like a lot of people, Congress is different from sports because all these teams, we're all like really good friends. they all came right to Valley City's help. Like just in a snap of a finger when they heard she was new, everybody flocked to Valley to help her get to know things. How do you put in points for kids, set up tab room accounts, all these different things, and instantly at our aid. And then we were able to just teach them how to do speeches, do things in North Dakota way and a national way, and they took it. I mean, it's like when a football coach kind of sells a play to their kids, like, here you go. And it worked. They sold it. It was bought. And, and I'm really surprised. It's just, it worked so well, and they did so good. And I can't believe we did it. I mean, it takes a lot to run the season. So, yeah. But Sean has been instrumental. I just can't believe how much he stepped up to the plate, and here we are. So.
And just, you're the only senior, obviously, on this. So we've got got the up-and-comers here. What's a normal team? We talked about you guys had 6. What is a group of, how many normally do you have on a team? 10, 15?
It depends on like the school, but when our program was a little bit bigger, I think we had maybe 10, 15 kids in our program. A couple years ago, I think about 3 years ago, we had a bigger team.
Okay.
And then the past couple years, it's been getting smaller, but usually 10 to 15, somewhere around there was our school's normal range, but we're trying to build it back up there.
Well, not too bad for the Super 6 doing what you did this year.
I think you can only bring 18 to state.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I remember in 2020, our state runner-up here, we had a few kids, like, that's when you had to go, like, you had to be chosen because you don't state qualify.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, we're trying to get back up to the 20-kid margin.
It's doable.
Yeah, we'll reach it.
It's doable. Maybe after you go, but it's doable.
And if we do, I mean, that'll be insane to watch with 20. Look how we did with 6 kids.
Right.
What we do with 20.
That's more things can go up on the banners on the wall here at the Hack if you get 20 in there. And that'd be outstanding. Well, again, congratulations on a great student congress and a first place, a state champion, and a third place, three-way tie for third place. But now you were in Senate. Have you always done Senate, or did you change from year to year? Is it your choice, or how did you choose Senate?
Let's see. 7th grade I was House 6. 5th grade House 6, or 5th grade, 8th grade. I think 5 and 6 were combined, but I'm not for sure.
Right.
And I placed, and then they were like, "You can't be here anymore." So they Abby moved me up, and I went to like House 3.
Right.
Next year, I went my freshman year House 1, and then after doing really well, I took 2nd in House 1 at state. I went to Senate last year, tied for 3rd, and then this year tied for 3rd. So yeah, we for house placements, me and Ada and Sean just kind of worked on that and figured out where to put them in. The strategy went well. It was good to put Cooper and Quinn in the same house. They had a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, hopefully get that number 1 spot now next year. That's your goal for next year, to get up there to number 1. But again, guys, congratulations on a great year. We look forward to talking to you once speech season starts and dance getting started here. You start December 7th is your first
December 7th is the first
competition. So the highlights getting ready to go. So we'll be looking forward to that. And maybe we'll have to get weather forecasts from you once the winter hits.
Here and there.
And there. We'll have to find out if we're going to be canceling school at all or anything like that. But guys, again, congratulations, and we'll look forward to talking to you here this winter.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate it. Carter Haas and Ada Gilbertson joining us from the Highliner Student Congress team. Again, took 7th out of 19, which is 6 members of their team. We'll be back with more Coach's Corner here from the Hack on the Highliner Activity Network. Back here on Coach's Corner on the Highliner Activity Network, and again, working in the fine arts category this week. And we'll talk sports here a little bit at the end of the show, but the fall play is coming up. I believe first performance is tonight, and we are joined by Leah Holcoulter, star, producer, director. Are you wearing a few hats with this one?
I am, actually. How'd you know?
I guessed.
Oh, no. I am a senior, and I am an actor in it, but I back in July, I approached the school because theater is a timely manner. Obviously, you got to get practices in, and you can't just be like, oh, let's put on a show this week. You can't do that.
No.
So I approached them with an email saying, hey, if nobody applies, I would be really interested in student directing this show because I want to go into acting and performance in my life, and student director does look really good on a college application. And that's not the only reason I did it, obviously, but it does really help in the, like, everything helps each other out in fine arts. Like, directing will help with your acting because you kind of see things differently. I don't know. But I approached them in July, and they liked my idea, but they still wanted to wait to see if anybody would apply. Nobody ended up doing it, but it's fine because it worked out in the end. So I have 2 adult advisors who are overseeing practices and rehearsals and are just an adult body to be there because you have to have an adult. Supervision. So my mom, Diane Hochhalter, and then Kyla Fetch.
Okay.
And so it was kind of like a 80-20% thing. So my mom was there for like majority, and then Kyla has stepped in these past couple weeks and helped with music because she's pretty good at music too. So she's helped us learn our music because it is a musical.
Yes, yes, it is.
It's a musical.
It is.
Which is really fun. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it because not only have I acted in it, but I keep saying, like, a part of me is in the show. A part of my soul is in it, and I'm just excited for the community and people to see it because it's almost like my baby. Like, I created it, and like I'm really excited for people to see it and just support it. And that's all I really ask is that, hey, even if you think you might not like it, you might be surprised because it's not an understatement when I say it's incredible. I don't think I've ever been part of a show that is this good. The cast is amazing, and we've all worked so hard. We've really only had about 50 days because we started later because the scripts had to get ordered after, and they take a while to ship. So we started a lot later than normally, and we still made a whole 2-act musical in time. Like, it's insane, and the cast is so good. Like, they can sing, they can act, they can dance. Like, it's everything that I would have dreamed for, and they made my dream, my literal
vision,
dream, my vision that I was like, oh, this might not work. They made it a reality, and they made it work more than, oh my gosh, possible. I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell.
You need to get more excited about this.
I know.
Come on, you're just too down about
calm,
this. But it's Mean Girls is the name. Now, you came, obviously, it was your creation or thought. How did you come up with this one? What was your mindset behind Mean Girls?
So when Abby Brown was still here last year as our director, we had already talked about doing another musical this year, even though we did Frozen last year, which is another musical. But we had already talked about doing another one because we have the voices who can sing, and why wouldn't you use them for a musical, you know?
Yeah.
So we had already talked about it, and with the cast we knew we had from Frozen, we were trying to craft something. Obviously, more people could step in and people could drop out, but we were just trying to craft around the people we knew we had. And so I just remember talking to Abby about blonde musicals. So, like, I think Legally Blonde she had looked at, but the ensemble was huge for that one, so that was, like, out. And I had... Because the musical movie came out last spring, one of my friends, who actually plays Karen now, which is really fun in the musical, but she was singing one of the songs from it, and my brain sparked, and I was like, what if we did Mean Girls? So I looked up if there was, like, one for high school, and there was. So I just sent Abby a little poster, and I was like, food for thought. And I think if she had stayed here, I think we would have ended up doing it anyway because I think she would have really liked it too. So, but I know I've kind of been in contact with her, and I know she's really proud of me and the whole cast and just making it come true. So that's kind of how it happened. And so I did a lot of research over the summer just in case it happened, you know, and it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
So I did a lot of research just about musicals that we could do, like if Mean Girls wasn't an option, or plays if they were like no musicals at all. But I was doing research, but Mean Girls was just a really good fit for our cast because we have a lot of girls in our cast and not as many guys, which Mean Girls has a lot of girls and the cast not a lot of guys, but it's like I don't know how to say other than it's like a perfect fit for our cast. Everybody fits their characters so well, and it's just we feel like a group. I don't know how else to explain it other than, like with Frozen last year, we were like a set, and we worked well with each other. But we have about 28 actors this year, which is a lot more than it has been in the past. So that's really exciting. But we all feel like we're actually connected, and I don't know if I've ever actually experienced this level of connection with a group before. And it's just really. It really does make me proud to see people supporting each other in the hallways. Like, I pass people in the hallways, and they're like, hi, and I'm like, hi, I know who you are, this is so cool.
The chemistry.
Yes, the chemistry.
Is
the chemistry is real this year.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of hard to force chemistry that isn't there in a cast, and that can happen. And, I mean, it has happened in past years, but it's all real this year, which I think really helps, and it's really exciting, so... Yeah.
the premise. Now, the people that don't know, of course, it came out. The movie came out. Lindsay Lohan, Rachel McAdams, a few years back. Give us the premise without giving too much away.
Yes. Okay. So, Mean Girls tells the story of a girl named Katie who moves from Africa because her parents were research zoologists, and they had been living there for the past 15 years. So, as a 16-year-old, she has to switch from homeschooling to public school. So, it really just battles the challenges of school and kind of growing up, of like fitting in, making friends, and trying not to be mean to each other.
Right.
And so she encounters these people on the second day of school who try to help her, but then they form this plot to kind of take down the main antagonist, the clique of the school that are called the Plastics. And so they want to take them down, but in the process, Katie doesn't remain the sweet girl she used to. She starts to turn into a mean girl. So the plot is just basically navigating the border. Like, the underlying thing is we need to stop being mean to each other and just start supporting and loving each other, because we don't have time in this life to be rude and hatred towards each other. It's
got a great message.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. For something that you might not think has a great message, it really does. The last line of the show is, and just remember, the people that you don't like are still people. So lay off. Like, that's the last line. Right. It's saying, even if you don't like a person, that's fine. But just remember, we are all human beings, and we all have feelings, and they're all valid. So I really, like, the message always makes me like, aw.
and that really is, in theater, if you can create, or in anything, if you can create a great product and then you have a message that you can send out to it, and it's high school too. That's the key part. These are high school kids playing high school kids. You're not trying to play too old.
That's what I like about this too, is because it's high school, and because other high schoolers who aren't in theater know about it, I think they'll actually show up, because let's be real, I loved being Anna and Frozen last year, but not many high schoolers wanted to go watch Frozen. They're high schoolers. We don't like Disney, but and that's fine, like what you like. But because this is Mean Girls, I think a lot of high schoolers will come and support it, and that makes me excited, because I don't think they often do show up to theater, and that's fine, because it's not for everybody, and I understand that. But I think this time we'll actually have a lot of people, and it will resonate with them on a variety of levels. And it's exciting. I'm excited to see what happens. So, but yeah, because it's high schoolers, it does resonate and mean a lot to, I think, the people in the cast and the people who are going to come watch it.
And you're probably going to put a little bit more into it. Not that you wouldn't put a lot into your performance, but you might. It
connects more. Yeah, it hits. It hits close to home for
it does.
More.
Yeah, and that makes a person really want to.
Yes, really bring their character out, show their message. Yeah,
and go out there and tell the story. That's the big. You're telling a story. You're sending a message, and you're entertaining. So you got a big task ahead of you. Tonight it starts.
Yes, at 7.
7 o'clock at the theater.
Doors open at 6:30.
Okay.
Door W6.
Okay. So. Tickets.
$5 for students, and then $10 for adults.
Okay.
And then I think tonight, but for sure the other nights, we are going to be selling flowers before the show and during intermission. And I don't know why we've never done it before, but we're kind of taking a piece from Micaiah's studio, because she always sells flowers at the Bankstead performances. So we're kind of taking a page out of her book, because One thing I did last year for the junior high play was I bought a rose for every actor in it, because it always breaks my heart when I see actors who don't have any flowers and I have like this bouquet. I'm like,
Right.
take it, I don't need it. Like it breaks my heart, because they might not have people that support them, and they should, because they're awesome. And so we're selling flowers, so if people want to buy either their actor or crew flowers, or
Yeah.
somebody random flowers, they can, and then give it to them, and then that money will go to the theater department. But on Saturday night, it will go to Aaron Ludiker.
Okay.
Because Aaron Ludiker did play Damien, who's one of the main characters. And oh my gosh, he was incredible. Unfortunately, though, due to medical circumstances, he will not be able to perform these next couple nights. And it was really a letdown for all of
Yeah.
us. We were heartbroken.
Yeah.
So luckily, Cheska Flores, a senior, has stepped up as the understudy and is filling that Damien role. But so on Saturday night, the flower money will go to Aaron.
Okay, cool. That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
That make
I know, yeah, I know.
Man, you guys.
Stop!
Isn't the word mean in this
Yeah,
story? Come
right?
on, you're not
Where is
supposed to
it?
do this. But again, now you have evening performances, then a matinee on Sunday.
Yes, at 2 p.m. and then doors open 30 minutes before, same
Okay.
doors. So,
So W6, right down this.
yeah.
Around here
yeah, that
somewhere,
way, yeah.
right down to the north of where we're sitting here from the Hack. But 7 o'clock tonight is when it gets started. Doors open at 6. You said
6:30.
6:30. So check it out. This is going to be fun.
I think it's going to be different in a good way.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I think, kind of eye-opening, because I don't know how else to describe it. It's just, I'm really excited for people to come see it.
This has got to be one of the first student directed /
I think
produced.
so.
Because it's not very often you have students that do this.
No, and I just have to say, I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because, and I did it all voluntarily. I don't want anything back from this other than putting my art into the world. That's why all I ask for is that people support it, because, like I said, it's kind of my brainchild.
Yeah.
And I've spent, I mean, I could say I spent 3 months on it, but really I've spent since May on it, because I've been just thinking of ideas and creations and storylines, and I've just been so excited. And so, again, a part of my soul is in the production, so when you watch it, you're just watching a part of me. And that's kind of fun. I don't know, so.
Because you're not a mean girl.
No, I hope not.
You're
no,
not a
I'm not.
plastic.
I'm really not. No. Well, in the show I am.
So it's not typecasting.
No.
That's the best part. Is now you're going to have to do something that you're not.
I know. I was really excited when the cast list came out, because I get to play a villain, and I've never played a
You
villain
like
before.
doing
Well,
that.
actually, in 7th grade, for the show that had one performance, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh, there
Yep,
that went.
but I was the boss.
Okay.
In
Ooh.
7th grade, so
Okay.
I was the villain in that one too. So I guess I get to start as a villain and end as a villain, and
See
my
the
theater-
range here.
Yeah, theater experience. So
At least in high school.
yes,
Because you'll have
yes,
a lot more experiences later on.
Yes,
At least you hope so.
I think I will.
Pretty
yeah.
good, pretty good. We'll talk more about that when we get later on. But again, that's tonight. It gets started 7 o'clock. Doors open at 6:30. $10 for adults, $5 for students, and flowers are going to be sold.
Yes, and then it is PG-13.
Okay.
So
you.
recommended for ages 13 and up.
Okay.
Because it is Mean Girls. So
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But PG-13. That, I mean, it doesn't mean if like a 12-year-old shows up, we're gonna be like, get out.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's really up to parents to decide what's right for their kids. Like
Sure.
if they've seen the movie, they can see. We've tamed it down, I should say.
Sure.
We've tamed it down quite a bit. So it's still PG-13, because
Yep.
this is our content warning. So
Okay.
it does deal with some violence and
Yep, there's
but
some things.
it is Mean Girls. So
Yep, okay.
but recommended for ages 13 and up. But if kids under that want to come, leave it up to the parents, and that's their decision.
Sure.
So,
All right, we'll leave it up to mom and dad.
yeah.
Perfect. Leah, thank you very much. Good luck. And I know
Yes.
you don't say good luck. I'm sorry. Break a leg.
There we go.
Break a leg tonight, not literally. And have a great week.
Thank you.
Appreciate you joining us.
Yes.
Leah Hochhalter from the fall play again, Mean Girls, and it starts again tonight at the VHS Theater. 7 o'clock, doors open at 6:30, and really support these kids. They've been working hard for not a very long time, kind of been a
Yeah.
short window, and that'll be coming up here tonight, tomorrow night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
Are the performances here at Valley City. We'll be back and wrap things up here on Coach's Corner from the Hack on the Highlander Activity Network. Back here at Coach's Corner here on the Highliner Activity Network, and wrapping things up today. Again, we were talking fine arts, but there's some athletics going on. Again, volleyball tonight. They were in their in this consolation round of the EDC tournament. They're up in Grand Forks, taking on Grand Forks Red River tonight. A win tonight. They'll be in a state qualifying match here on Saturday. That'll be coming up, and those are at West Fargo Cheyenne. But tonight, 6 o'clock first serve, Red River and the Highliners in the consolation round. That is the last as far as the fall sports are concerned. And winter sports, I think they'll be getting started here next week or the week after. And one other, speaking of